Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look at their campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run this. Hello, Talk Labor fans. We're back again this week and happy to see you. We got a lot to talk about today, but I think it's going to be very important that we do these things. We got this guy Bruce Rauner doing his thing. We're going to talk about that. Women who voted for Donald Trump, guns, killings, I mean all that. And then the Symphony of Change, Wynton Marsalis. We're going to talk about this mother that testified at the Infinite Scholar program. It's beautiful. You got to see that. You got to see that. And we're going to talk about the lawsuit, the updates, and what we did and where we are. And we're going to also talk about the coalition. So settle down, get ready, relax. I got a great guest. I got my research engineer here with me today. And we're going to be talking about some things that I think that affect you, your family, and your whole community. But right now, I just want to start talking about this guy, Bruce Rauner. Can you believe this guy has a commercial on television talking about how he saved the schools and how he passed the bill, got a bill passed to get money for the kids in the schools and in the most needed places? This man must think we are the biggest damn fools in the world to believe that. You know, it's unbelievable. I want you to just take a look. I want you to take a look at this.
There's only one way to clean up this mess. One step at a time. And that's how Governor Rauner is going to clean up our state. After decades of dysfunction, Governor Rauner has delivered historic education reform, the highest levels of public school funding ever, tax credits for donations to scholarship programs, and more funding for those children who need it most. We've got a ways to go, but delivering for our kids is a great start.
Did you see what I was talking about? Do you believe it? I mean, it's not funny because they think that because they put this on television and go over and over and over it, you're going to believe that he actually had something to do with this. He only passed that bill because he knew that the bill was veto-proof. He couldn't veto the bill. Mike Madigan and John Cullington had him hog-tied, and he knew that. But he's on television now pretending like he saved the kids, and he wanted to do this. This man is so out of touch with reality until it's not funny. But you know what? I'm going to do this because I got a guest that I want to bring on today. And it's somebody that a lot of you know. Then and I'll be introducing him to some of you all. But we're going to talk about some of the things that I mentioned earlier. My guest is from the south side of Chicago. He's been involved in labor for a long time. We're going to be right back right after this, and I want you to just listen to what this gentleman has to say. We'll be right back after this.
Why?
Why?
Why are you following me?
Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous?
Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling the gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed?
Why can I breathe?
Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house? Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target?
Why?
Why? I know why.
And it has to stop. It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I'll make a difference.
Because I have a family.
Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son.
Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
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 All lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Okay, and we are back, and as I promised you, I have a gentleman with me that's been with me a long time in labor, do a lot of research for me, did a lot of research on the book, Ungrateful, The Rise and Fall of Labor Unions. Go pick that up. Let me introduce you to Ronald Rose. Ronnie, how you doing,
hey,
buddy?
Jerry.
Hey, man, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to be back.
Hey, things are still going.
Still moving.
Still moving?
Yeah.
Even with that person in the White House? That's
still moving.
Still moving. All right. That's good to hear, because I was beginning to wonder for a while. I was talking about that guy in Illinois, Rauner, you know, talking about he saved the schools, and he, do you believe that?
With a person like him, yeah, I believe he would say something like because he think you're stupid.
Yeah. He think we're all stupid.
Yes, he does.
You know, but what some of the subjects I want to get you in on, and one of them would be women who voted for Donald Trump. You know, I listen to people talk about was it Harvey Weinstein and how he's such a womanizer and all that. I have no problem with it. I'm happy he's doing it. He should be doing it. You know why? Because women don't care. It seems like they don't care. Like 53% of the women in America voted for Donald Trump.
Yes, they did.
And then you're running around here talking about this guy.
What he did?
And Donald Trump said he grabbed your, you know, and grabbed women by the private part.
And they didn't mind.
They didn't have a part. They voted him in. They did not only did they chastise this guy, they did not chastise him. They rewarded him by putting him in the White House. Yes, he can grab me anytime. Well, don't tell me about this guy. Don't tell me about Bill Cosby.
Well, you criticized these two gentlemen.
Right.
But you didn't criticize this man.
You rewarded.
Went in the locker room with the young girls and looking at them. And that's all right.
Right. But, and then you tell me you're such a hypocrite.
Challenge. But when I see women doing that, I think, why are they publicly disrespecting themselves? Why are they opening the door to have someone say that about them in their workplace, in a community setting? Do they not see the connection there? And I think that's one of the problems with sexism. We had such a public and still an ongoing movement to expand civil rights. And again, I'm proud of the progress, but we still have a lot of problems we have to confront, because electing Barack Obama did not end racism, as we know all too well, but it gave the country a chance to say, hey, wait a minute, we are better than this. With sexism, it is still not viewed as the serious threat it is to women's aspirations, to the ability of young girls to imagine themselves doing all kinds of things. So I'm happy to have people disagree with me. Say, you know what, I don't agree with her on health or the economy or immigration, whatever they want to disagree with me about. But when they resort to sexism, that says, number one, they don't really know what their own arguments are. And number two, they are opening that door even wider for sexism and misogyny to be used against them and people they love, their daughters, their nieces, their sisters.
And you so-called evangelicals, you know, you must have morals and you must have this. Now, this boy he has
baby mama drummer. He's married, ran off with another woman. He's got babies by other women. He's been known to go patronize the brothels.
Right.
But
all of the above.
He's okay.
That's fine.
So don't even bring that garbage to me because I don't want to hear it no more. You know, now, I got to say this for African American women. They did not vote for Trump. So I got to give them kudos. And all white women did, but the 53% of the women in America voted for this guy.
And you're upset.
Now you're upset because this guy's doing what he do. I don't know what he did, but evidently he's not doing anything.
But he told them he was going to make America great.
I think what he meant was he want to make America white again. Not going to happen, Donald, because you're not the only person here. I was watching a movie, Ronnie, the other day, old cowboy movie, and the guy says, well, see, because these people come over here. He was talking about the Irish. You know, the Irish were the Negroes back before. And they think they can take over. We were the first ones here. No, you weren't.
You were not.
The Indians were here before you came. And Columbus did not discover America.
Somebody was already here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. That's why I have you on, because I know you know what I'm talking about. We've been through this before. I'm going to tell you another thing. And people get angry with me. I don't care. Guns and killings. I don't care anymore. You kill as many as you want to kill. They should keep shooting people. Like over there in Nevada. Good. You shot him? Okay. Then they shot the school teacher the other day. Okay, good. Yeah. Because you settled in on letting crazy people have guns. You know, responsible people? Yes. Protect your home and your environment? Yes.
You're right.
If you hunt? Yes. But to just give anybody guns, AK-47s, and then you give them guns that they can transform into killing machines.
That's right.
And you said, no, don't talk about it because it's not right. And we shouldn't talk about that. Okay, as long as you keep killing yourselves, don't come over here with that garbage though, you know. But I'm going to make sure I got me something because just in case you do come.
Right.
You know, but that's some of the things you got. I think Democrats and people like that need to stop being whiny about these type things. When they come with you, to you about guns and you shouldn't do that because that you sound weak, and you know what they do for weak people? They step on them. Step on you. You know, thing is, if they got guns and they're killing people, that's tough. When people get sick of it, they'll do something about it. If they don't, keep killing them. I'm gonna protect myself, but keep killing them. And it's not something that I'm proud of because that's not America. And people don't realize, you tell me if I'm wrong, Ronnie, people don't realize that Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about America.
He doesn't.
This man is acting like, he is actually trying to destroy America. All your values, he attacks it. He's like a little brat that tries to see how much he can get away with. You know, I'll try this. And if they don't do it, I'm going to try this. And I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to throw a tantrum if you mess with me. I'm going to cry and whine and just throw a fit if you mess with me. For him to get up there and say that former presidents did not call families when some soldiers got killed. He especially singled out President Barack Obama, who did more calling and going to see the families than any other president you even know. Anybody knows. If this bastard, he knows that he's lying. He doesn't care. He throws a lie out there for his poorly educated base. And they bite on it, you know. Other people don't, but they bite on it. What do you think about that?
Well, he played, like he said, I like ignorant and unlearned people. And all you have to do is check. But most people rather believe a lie than to believe the truth. It's just human nature. I like drama. I don't. And one of the most intelligent presidents we ever had, politicians, period, in history, was Barack Obama.
True.
You know.
Absolutely.
The most intelligent president you ever had in history. If you go back and check the itinerary, nobody was as close. But when you and you knew in the beginning what this man was about. Everybody told you what he was about. Even some of the billionaires out there told you the man is a fake and a fraud.
Yep.
But you still put him in office. Now I call that self-hatred.
It is. One of the things, the easiest thing for a person to do is hate. It's hard to, use intelligence and try to work problems out. That's too tough. So the easiest thing to do is just hate that one because he's doing this.
Right.
And people don't say this, and they should. This man hates that African American.
Yes, he does.
He hates that black man. He wants to be like that black man. Every time something come out of his mouth, well, Barack Obama didn't do this, I did that, which is a lie. He lies like he breathes. I think if he stopped lying, I think he would die.
Ain't that what liars do? Lie.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
You know, the Bible says that Satan was the father of lies. That's what liars do, lie. So that's what he is, a liar.
Yeah, he is. He really is. We don't want to spend too much time on that, fool, because, we got too many other things that we need to be talking about.
Right.
And we will. We're going to talk about update on the lawsuit, which is great, and the coalition, And we're going to talk about Infinite Scholar. We probably talk about that every week, but that's great.
Right.
And we're going to talk about the Symphony of Change. So we're going to come right back and talk about those things in just a moment. We'll be right back right after this. Okay, we're back, and we're going to talk about some of the good things that's going on, like the Symphony of Change. It's an organization headed by T.L. Williams. I got to give that young man credit. He's doing a lot for the young children in Chicago. He's working with the public schools. He's got people working with him, sponsors that allow him to have the organization that he created, where he teaches kids from 6th grade to 8th grade music. He teaches them how to read, write, and play instruments, and how to engineer, mix and master. And he teaches them about how to, write and keep track of your music, like, publishing and stuff like that. All that stuff is being taught to these young kids as they grow and go into high school. His thing is that, and I've said this before, he teaches classical, jazz, because he says, oh, that's beautiful music. Bach, Beethoven. But he also says Stevie Wonder is beautiful too. So, we're going to, and one of the things that they did, I think, on Saturday, Ronnie, they went downtown to the jazz festival at the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and Wynton Marsalis, the great trumpeter, was there.
Right.
And he had the orchestra there, and I think it was great. They talked about Duke Ellington, how he got to be who he is.
Right.
I was so impressed, and the music that they were playing, oh man, it was just great. But they had the kids there in a workshop in the daytime at 11 o'clock. He does that when he comes to town, and he invited TL and his kids that he teaches. He had 24 kids he took down there. Him and his staff took them down there. And after the performance and after the workshop, we got the opportunity to go in and meet and greet and talk with Wynton Marsalis. So here's a couple of things that they did. Take a look at this. I'm really impressed with Wynton, because he took the time out you know, to mingle with the kids. Right. And he knows TL because he tutored TL.
Right.
So take a look at this, okay? What do you think about that? I thought that was
excellent. Yeah,
pretty good. I'm telling you. And then he told his thing to T.O. was, anytime you need me, just call me. You know, I love that brother.
Yes.
You know, he gave him his number and stuff, gave T.O. the number and stuff like that. But I just think that that's so wonderful. And that's, when I go from the Symphony of Change, these kids also are members of the Promise program,
right?
That we do.
Yeah.
And you know all about the Promise program. Why don't you give the audience a little bit about that?
I was talking, it's ironic you bring it up, I was talking to a lady Sunday at church about the Promise program because she had asked me about Infinite Scholar, and I told her we just had it. She missed it. And I told her, she says, I said, September 21st every year. I says, and we have, it's a pilot program, you know,
right.
And I said, what the Promise program, I says, if a kid starting from the 6th or the 8th grade, if they maintain a 97% attendance rate, no trouble, keep their grades up all the way through high school, they're guaranteed a scholarship to go to college. She said, what? I says, oh yes. I said, it's not in all schools. This is the first year. It's a pilot program, and if it takes off big, then we'll move it. We want to get all of the schools involved.
Right.
And I says, we're hoping that it does well, and then it'll be all over the city. You know, I'd like to see it all over the country, you know, for children.
Yeah. It's they have it in Ferguson, Missouri,
right,
in St. Louis.
Okay, right.
Matter of fact, they started before we did, and that's where we got the idea from.
Right.
You know, and we got great support from those people in St. Louis, and especially from the Infinite Scholar, because Infinite Scholar is the one that created it. The Infinite Scholar people in St. Louis, like Mr. T, we call him, Thomas Osley, and just, you know, everybody. And I want to give a shout out to all the Infinite Scholar people around the country, because we do this in 29 different cities around the country, give out scholarships around the country. And speaking of scholarships, I want to show this little clip from a mother, Ronnie, in that daughter got a scholarship. It was so beautiful how she gave testimony on this. She was so happy that her daughter got that scholarship. Not just one scholarship, her daughter got about 5, 10 scholarship offers, and her daughter got a full ride. And she was just crying. Let me shut up and let you watch this. Just take a look at this.
We gonna do the dang old thing. And when I say God is real, this ain't no fun. I don't care about nobody. She got it to Hampton, she got a scholarship. She got it to Bennett, she got it to CMU, she got a scholarship. She got it to John P. Smith, she got a scholarship. She got it to University, she got a scholarship. When I say every school, she got a scholarship. She got it to Philadelphia, they gave her a full ride. And I'm talking about with no help, with no assistance, with nobody in this house since the day of conception. So when I say this is a big deal, this is a big deal. You just don't know how hard it is to have a kid and keep her on the right path and serving God and loving herself and having self-esteem and being able to put her in any environment. And not only does she do well, she don't thrive. And I don't know Ms. Jones, but I thank her. I thank you.
Okay, and you see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about right there. That was wonderful, wonderful. And all that's because of Infinite Scholar. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. We've been on it here in Chicago. We got people working with us, Teachers Union, the Chicago Public School, the Chicago Police Department. We got investors all over the place working with us, sponsoring and volunteers, all of our volunteers in Chicago, give a shout out to them too.
Right.
You know, because we do a great amount of work here. We were at the pavilion.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And we had the largest, I'll let you tell it, you were there.
We had the largest turnout since we've been here, since it's been going on. Normally they have applications when it first started. They ran out of applications in an hour.
Sure did.
The first hour we was there, over 1,000 children had registered.
Right.
And it had never happened before. You know.
Yeah, and it just turned out. And the college reps were really happy about that.
Right.
They were really happy about that. Some of them had to go back and get more applications, which they did. That was just wonderful. That was wonderful. So we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the lawsuit and the coalition. We'll be right back.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, but you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we're back, and everybody knows we filed a lawsuit, and we don't need to go over it every time we come on the air. Most people know exactly what we're talking about. The lawsuit that from the CTA pensioners,
right?
You know, and we won it for people that retired before 2007.
Right.
We should have won it for the ones that retired after 2007, but the Supreme Court said that the union gave that away by signing a memorandum of understanding. And that was their ruling. So they ruled against the active people. But however, they did rule for the retirees because the union did not represent the retirees. Right. So that's their finding, and which is true. And everybody knows that. We can't, we don't go to the bargaining table, and we don't have anybody represent us. And I met with the attorneys and spent about 3 hours this week going over the depositions. And we're doing, I think we're moving really, really good now. You know, it took us 8 years before we got a ruling. It's not going to be like that this time, folks. We're on the rock, we're on the move, and we hope that CTA see their way not to stall, not to hang. I don't know what the situation is. I hope they see their way to follow what the Supreme Court said without us having to go, you know, dragging this thing out. If they don't, we just have to do what we have to do.
Right.
So we did that, and I can't give you too much details here because you don't do that in public. But if you want to get details, we have an organization,
right,
called the Coalition, CTA Pensioners Coalition. We periodically have meetings, and when we call a meeting, we will bring you all the way up to date on everything that's going on, not only the lawsuit, but the positions of the coalition.
Right.
And the officers in the coalition, of course, I've mentioned it before, is President Claude Funches, Secretary Suzette Smith, Treasurer Ronald Roach, Vice President Benny Rogers, and Assistant Treasurer Tommy Little.
Right.
I have that right?
That's right.
Okay. And Tommy Little, Benny Rogers, and Claude Funches is from Local 241, and Ronald Roach and Suzette Smith. That's, of course, from Local 308. But you don't have to be from a local to be an officer or involved or a member. So if you are a member, you're going to get exclusive updates. And there's a lot of things that you will be able to do. So you need to come to the meeting whenever it's called if you are a member. If you're not a member, you should seek out one of those individuals so that you can sign up and become a member.
Right. Right.
You'll get a card with your number on it and your name that signifies that you are a member of the organization. This is not nothing to do with CTA. This is nothing to do with the unions. This is not a union. This is not a CTA. This is a coalition of retirees that are here to protect the pension plan. Okay? So, with that, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so we're back, and I hope you enjoyed the show today, and we're going to be back next week. So if you got things that you want to talk about, if it bothers you, if it bothers your family, if you think it's something detrimental, hey, come to Talk Labor. That's why we're here. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it if it's community, if it's family, if it's city, if it's state, if it's national. We'll talk about it here on Talk Labor and give you an opportunity to talk about it too. Okay? And don't forget, if you have questions, if you have anything you want to say, it's talklabor@gmail.com. Shoot us an email, and we'll reach emails on the air. Okay? So we'll see you again next week on Talk Labor. Thank you.